Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to announce the beginning of the organizational meeting. The next item on the agenda is the election of the board chair and vice chair. Board Policy 2200 states that the board attorney will conduct the election of the board chair. I will now pass the gavel to Ms. Weinstein to conduct the election for board chair. And before I do, I'd just like to thank my fellow board members for entrusting me in this position. It's been my privilege to serve, and I look forward to supporting whomever sits in the chair following my exit. Possible.
Thank you.
Here, you need something to hit it on.
I don't think I'm going to be hitting it.
Okay.
I hope. Okay. In a moment, I will call for nominations for the office of Chair of the Warren County Board of Education. As a reminder, nominations do not require a second. If more than one person is nominated, the board will vote on nominees in order of nomination. The first person to receive a majority vote of board members present is elected chair. Are there any nominations for the office of board chair?
I make a nomination for Joyce Long.
Are there any other nominations? Nominations for the office of board chair are closed. Since there's only one nominee, we'll vote. Those in favor of Ms. Joyce Long as chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say no. Ms. Long is elected chair by a vote of, well, unanimously, so congratulations. And I'll pass the gavel to you to facilitate the vice chair election process.
Take all your stuff.
Your notes are on the table. She's like,
We'll switch the computer.
he's going to do that in a
Yeah.
So get her mic. Get Joyce her mic. Her mic. You start.
Yeah, get my computer. Okay. All right. Thank you. Nominations are in order for the office of vice chair. As a reminder, nominations do not require a second. Are there any nominations?
Madam Chair, I would like to nominate Victoria Lehman for vice chair.
Are there any additional nominations? If not, the office of vice chair are closed. Congratulations, Victoria. Call for a vote. Those in favor, just say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed have the same right.
Yes.
Ayes have it unanimously. Congratulations.
Does she need to say something? You want to, we're going to close the meeting?
Right, so you'll adjourn this meeting and then reopen the regular meeting.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Can I have a motion?
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
It has been motioned by Board Member Tyler Brain and second Board Member Bird.
Bird. Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Are you ready for the question?
Yes.
No. Let's vote. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Have the same right. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
I just want to say good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Virtually, and the members here also. There has been an establishment of a quorum and called the July 8th, 2025 regular meeting to order. Let's have a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, we will have comments by the board chair. And I think I just would like to say, first of all, I just want to congratulate our staff, principals, teachers, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, because you work hard.
Yes.
And we do appreciate that, everything that you do. Our vacancy rates are down from recent years, so that's a good thing. Safety is a priority in our schools, and we have the support of the local sheriff department and the police department, and we are installing more cameras. We've established this with integrity and according to the board policy. It is our desire that every student is prepared to strive and to reach their full potential. That's our goal.
Yes.
At this time, can we have comments by other board members?
I would just like to say, thank everybody for all that you've done this summer to make our summer session successful. We appreciate that, and we just look forward to you having a great summer and ready to come back in August for that.
Okay, I agree with
Yeah.
Jennifer Sims, a comment that she just made, but I would also like again to congratulate the new vice chair and the new chair and vice chair. And I'm glad that you're in the seats.
Thank you.
I'd like to announce one of the things that's going on in the summer program. It's called Making Waves Through Art. Warren County Schools presents playground. So I guess what I see is musical notes, the drama mask, and dance. This is Thursday, July 10th, 2025, 1:30 p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. at the Marion Boyd Elementary School multipurpose room. Everyone is welcome, and I'm sure it'll be an exciting event, and the kids, I'm sure, are excited to perform for anyone who is not willing to come, excited to come. So again, that's Thursday, July 10th, 2025, 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. at Marion Boyd Elementary School. Come enjoy the arts.
And I want to just say congratulations to Board Chair Long and to congratulations to Board Chair Victoria Lehman. I look forward to working with you all and the rest of my colleagues. I just wanted to just
Thank you.
just say, you're welcome. Just wanted to just say, I wanted to remind the community that we are having our summer feeding programs at our various schools, and I think we're serving ages, Dr. Carrington, I believe from 18 and under, and they have the right to go and pick up a lunch and a breakfast, I believe. And so I want us to take advantage, because I know sometimes in the summertime, your parents may not be cooking, but hopefully you can catch a ride in the neighborhood and go and have lunch or breakfast at one of our various schools. So thank you.
Thank you, board members, for those comments. And I would like to just let you know that our superintendent, Dr. Monica Davis, is virtual, and we will have comments from her at this time.
Thank you, Chairman. First I want to say thank you so much to previous Chair Lehman and Vice Chair Sims for the job well done in your last term. Thank you so much for your time and your commitment that you put into those two roles. And now I want to say congratulations to our new chair, Ms. Long, and Vice Chair Lehman, that as board member Tally Brain said, that we look forward to just moving the needle just a little bit further and working together. This is a dynamic board that works so well together and put children first. I am blessed to have and work with such a great group of board members that know what is needed for our children in order to meet their potential. So I just want to say thank you to our outgoing chair and vice chair, and welcome to our incoming chair and vice chair. So thank you so much. Also, hard to believe that in less than a month, high school, secondary students, middle and high school students will be returning from their summer break, and elementary has just a little bit over a month. I just want to give you some important dates, community who's watching. Open houses for our middle school, it will be August the 6th from 5 to 7. Our high school will be August the 7th from 5 to 7. And our elementary schools will be August the 21st from 5 to 7. Our teachers will return for secondary, which is middle school and high school, on August the 4th, and our elementary teachers will return on August the 18th. I know you probably don't want to hear me say that, because you're saying, no, my summer is coming to an end. But yes, it is, and I'm sure that you have been enjoying reading those great books that we gave you when you left school, so we can't wait to have a conversation about them when you get back. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and allowing me to be virtual this evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Monica Davis. What would we move to now? Approval of the agenda. First of all, do we have any additions to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
None? Okay, could I get a motion to approve the July 8th, 2025 regular board meeting agenda?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve July 8th, 2025 regular board meeting agenda.
Second.
Okay, it has been moved by Board Member Tally Brain that we approve the regular board meeting agenda, and second by Board Member Sims. Do we have any questions? Now, are you ready for the vote?
Yes.
Let's vote, please. Now by the hand vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Pass. Motion passed. Approval of the consent agenda. Could I get a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I second.
It has been moved by Board Member Sims that we approve the consent agenda, and second by Board Member Tyler Brain. Are there any questions? Question? Let's vote, please. Okay. Vote by this, raising your hand.
Aye.
Or is- By aye?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Unanimously. Motion carried. At this time, we have public comments. Do we have any? Let you know of public comment. Okay. Discussion items. Item number 7.1, Team Service Counseling Contract Renewal. Mr. Squire.
Good evening, Board Chair Long,
Good evening.
Vice Chair Lehman. This evening, I am presenting the proposed contract renewal for the fiscal year 2025 and 2026 with Mr. Jeremy Teeter of Team Services Consulting. The continued partnership with Team Services Consulting will provide critical support to the Finance Department in ensuring compliance with budgetary statutes, financial reconciliations, and the preparation of all required financial reporting and audit items and requests. And this contract will be from the start of July through June 30th of 2026 of the 25-26 fiscal year.
As you are aware, board members, that if we do not have a finance officer, we have to contract with the services in order to continue to be with the in-with policy of the State Board of Education. Is that correct, Attorney?
That is how the State Board of Education has approved Warren County's
Yes.
current financial status. Yes.
Are there any questions?
No.
None.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we will have a discussion item concerning addendum to NEMA management, and we'll, okay, put that on.
Good evening, Board Chair Long, Vice Chair Lehman, board members, those present, those watching online, and Dr. Montague Davis. This evening, I come before you with one discussion item regarding NEMA, who currently serves as our project management team for our new consolidated elementary school. And as you are aware, our contracts normally run from July 1 to June 30th. Per every year. However, with this particular contract for NEMA, we would like to amend the contract to continue the contract that was established July 1, 2024, into a monthly basis. And the changes are to the amendment is from 30-day, our current contract has 30-day termination clause. This amendment will be a 14 calendar day notice. And as well as we have terminated the convenience fee, the previous contract, the school system will have been charged amount if we terminate the contract early. And so that has been taken care of in this amendment. And this, again, will be a month-by-month basis with not to exceed $39.36 per week. And this has been cleared and vetted through legal counsel. Any questions?
Go ahead and read the document.
Yeah, so the rate has not increased. I know there was initially a discussion about that, and then the month-to-month makes it much easier to terminate if that is the choice of the district.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So well, we'll ask in the action how that needs to be worded.
You can ask him
Yeah, I would ask him.
Okay, so how would you like the motion to be amended, to be presented?
Okay, the motion will be to adopt the amendment to to NEMA's contract.
That's it?
That's it.
Is that sufficient?
Yep.
Okay, that's what we need to know.
Adopt what?
Just, it's right here, just to,
All right.
we just want to
Got
put the addendum to it. So it'll come down in the action item, so we're good.
Update on the alternative learning program, Dr. Carrington again.
Yes, ma'am. So tonight I come to share some overview of our alternative learning program and some proposed changes for the upcoming school year. All right, so we had.
While Dr. Carrington, excuse me, Dr. Carrington, while Dr. Carrington is getting ready for the presentation, just want to remind you of how the program was worked last year, or the alternative program. I'm sure it's part of Dr. Carrington's presentation, but just a reminder that our alternative learning program was paid for through our CSI funds last year. So those funds were designated to the high school, and so we have to find another way to look at our alternative learning programs. So Dr. Carrington and his committee got together and with Mr. Jones, and they've come up with information that we'd just like to share with you this evening.
Thank you,
Dr. Carrington.
Thank you, Dr. MD. So those individuals that we collaborate together, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Squire, Finance, myself, Mrs. Brooks, our Elementary Ed Director, and Mr. Sayre, our AC Director. And so we all put our heads together to pretty much review the process from last year and creating a process for this new school year. And so our conversation was based on what our school board policy says about alternative learning programs. And so policy 3470, 4305 shares that students may be transferred to an alternative learning program or school on a voluntary or involuntary basis under any of the following circumstances. A, the student's parent or guardian and the principal agree, and the multidisciplinary team agrees that the transfer would be in the best interest of the student and the efficient admin of the public schools. B, the student has been recommended for long-term suspension or expulsion. C, the student poses a significant disruption to the educational environment in the regular educational setting due to continuing social behavioral problems. D, the student is at risk of dropping out or not meeting the standards for promotion due to academic, developmental, and or behavior problems. E, the student is a clear threat to the safety of other students or personnel. And F, the student has been charged with a felony or with any crime that allegedly endangered the safety of others, and it is reasonably foreseeable that the student's continued presence will significantly disrupt the regular educational environment. So that is what our policy states. Okay, and so as Dr. MB shared earlier, last year the ALP program was housed at Warren County High School on the A Hall from the hours of 4 p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Students had to provide their own transportation. The program format was at Mentum, Google Classroom, and it was a virtual component for those that could not be in the building. Okay, our enrollment last year, we had 39 active students. We had 6 early graduates, 1 withdrew, and 2 moved. Okay, so in talking about 25-26, we're looking to locate our ALP program this school year at Building 3 at Hawkins campus. All right, students will ride their respective bus to school and then shuttle to ALP, depending on the type of placement. I want to make that very clear, okay? Depending on the type of placement. The start date is the first day of school. Child Nutrition will deliver meals for breakfast and lunch to the site for the students, and the program format will look a little different. Google Classroom via the student schedule, which means the child's schedule will not change, and they will log into that particular teacher's class for that particular period. Using Edmentum, and also virtual is also a component depending on the nature of the infraction and the placement. All right, this year, we're proposing to hire 2 staff members, an ALP facilitator that will be certified, and an instructional assistant that will be a classified position. And attached to this presentation is the board policy, ALP procedures that have been developed, a EC department referral form, and an ALP referral form. We know that some students, depending if they get in trouble and depending on the nature of the infraction, they can be recommended for long-term suspension. That's one category. But then also you heard in the policy where it could be a referral from the school principal. So we have an ALP referral form that the principal will fill out where they note different strategies and interventions that took place at the school prior to requesting the child to be placed at the ALP. And as well as the EC department referral form, if a student is classified EC and the school would like to place a child at the ALP program, it's a process they have to go through. They can't just place a child. Now, if the child had an infraction where it could have been placed there, that would be a change of placement meeting, but this document here goes through steps, making sure that we cover dot all the I's, cross out all the T's, to ensure that the kid has gone through the process at the school with interventions and modifications before the child is referred to the ALP program. Any questions?
Are any of the students that were there last year returning this year?
Yes, there are a couple that will be returning, yes.
And this will cover only high school students?
Middle school and high school.
Middle school and high school?
Middle school and high school.
Thank you.
You did give us the number of students that were currently in the program.
Last year was 39.
Yeah, last year.
And I heard you say there were a couple that's going to return, but when we start a new fiscal year, are we not giving I guess according to the infraction, will dictate this, but are we not giving them a fresh start because of the new fiscal year, or?
Yeah, so the students there are 3 students that we will be returning in the fall. It's not based on infraction, it's based on best placement.
Gotcha. That's what I want, point of clarification.
Yes.
Because that's the best or suitable place for them.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that.
All right.
Quick question.
Sure.
You've got 2, a director and then an assistant or whatever classified. Is there a cap on what the program can handle? Because it would seem like at 39, you're getting close, right?
Yes, well, this school year, right now, when first day of school starts, it'll be 3.
Right, no, I understand that. So over the course of the year, is there a cap on what it can legally handle?
I would definitely say with this new setting, no more than 20 at one time would be appropriate for that setting. But also this year, we've been making sure that students are, you're reviewed at the end of that semester, and maybe the child can return back to their base school second semester, and not be there the whole year, depending on the infraction
So
or
it's
the
a program,
situation.
not a school.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
And Dr. Karen, I guess you need to just take a seat right there, huh?
Right here.
'Cause
I'm right here for you.
School Nurse Funding Initiative, Dr. Carrington.
Yes, thank you, Board Chair Long. So this information is just for information only purposes. You may be aware, may not be aware that Warren County School, in partnership with the Warren County Health Department, is part of the SNFI grant, the School Nurse Funding Initiative, where the school system receives $150,000 reimbursement for our school nurses. And so Warren County has been allotted 3 certified nurses that we are reimbursed for. And in the narrative there, it talks about this North Carolina State program, when it was established, and how it was administered by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. And this provides, funding to hire nationally certified registered nurses. And so we have been fortunate this past school year to be part of this. We've been several years we've been part of this initiative. And so I just wanted to share this information with you that we have received another $150,000 for
that's
3
great.
school nurses.
Yeah, exceptional. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Dr. Carrington, Sports Flooring Group contract.
Yes, thank you, Board Chair Long. So last time I was before you, I shared regarding our 2 bidders for our Warren County High School gym replacement. And the board voted to accept Sports Flooring Group and for us to negotiate the contract, where the contract has been negotiated, and we have come to the agreements in the contract. Again, the total amount for the gym floor replacement is $348,508 with the Sports Flooring Group.
And that's funded by,
So we received $190,000 through our capital outlay funds through the county, and we are still continuing to seek additional funds to take care of the remaining costs of the gym floor replacement.
And I know there were questions last time about the terms of the contract. We put this on, it's a construction contract template, so it looks different for most of your contracts. It addresses warranty and materials and use. There's a different payment model and all that. So that's what Dr. Carrington was able to negotiate.
Great, thank you.
okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Now, they put the Eagle back also?
Yes, all that'll be placed back, yes, ma'am.
Are there any more questions? Thank you, Dr. Carrington. South Warren Elementary School sale contract, Dr. Carrington.
Yes, ma'am. My last discussion item for you tonight. So we are super excited about the progress that we have made with South Warren Elementary School site. We went through 6 rounds of upset bids. We have identified a person to go forth to purchase South Warren Elementary School for the price of $435,300. And in the contract, you will see the deposit that was made of $21,765, and that was collected through the bid process. There's a resolution, there are 3 documents with this agenda item, a resolution, the sale contract, as well as an addendum to offer to purchase and contract. And so the resolution pretty much goes over all the details of it being South Warren Elementary School, where it's located 216 Shaka Springs Road in Warrenton, North Carolina. The board has declared the property surplus and no longer necessary for public school purposes. The board finds that the best interest of the Warren County Public Schools will be served by the sale of said real property, as is in accordance with the North Carolina General Statutes. And the board wishes to dispose of the property pursuant General Statute 168-269, providing for the sale of real property by negotiated offer, advertisement, and upset bids. Whereas Coral Construction Company LLC offered $435,300 to purchase the property and agreed to pay all real estate closing costs, revenue stamps, and expenses. The $435,300 offer was subject to the upset bid process in accordance with General Statute 168-269, and no upset bids were received within 10 days of publication of the final notice and advertisement. The board desires to sell the property to Coral Construction Company LLC. That is the resolution. The property sale contract, again, has been vetted with our legal counsel. And then the last item is the addendum to offer to purchase in contract. And pretty much the gist of this addendum states that all personal property that are in the building will convey with the property. Whatever's left in the building goes with Coral Construction Company LLC. And that we make no warranties or representations as to the conditions, fitness, or functionality of said personal property. All such personal property shall be conveyed as is, where is, without any warranty expressed or implied. Any questions?
Madam Chair, we did, if I recall correctly, we did, was able to go with the staff and get what we needed to get out, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Sorry. Thought we did, I just wanted to make sure.
Any questions? If not, thank you, Dr. Carrington.
You're so welcome.
You may have a seat. And then we have McGraw-Hill K-12 Science Curriculum, Mr. Jones.
Good evening, Board Chair Long, Vice Chair Lehman, board members, and Superintendent Davis and audience.
You fine, go ahead.
Okay. All right, so I'm here tonight to present to you the adoption of the K-12 science curriculum from McGraw-Hill. But before I talk about the reason why we selected McGraw-Hill, let me talk about the adoption process first. So the adoption process, we basically brought in representation from K-12 teachers, the instructional coaches, administration, and the district leaders. We didn't look at just McGraw-Hill. We had Savage to come in, Styles Education, and STEM Scope to come in as well. They did presentations, demonstrations, and they actually gave our teachers some free resources and material to vet. The recommendation here was solely on the teachers, because we realized if they're supporting it, they're going to buy into it, they're going to do what they have to do with this program. So, again, we were looking at the alignment, the usability, engagement, and the student support features of the different programs. And we also used the DPI's adopted textbook adoption list as well in our process.
Right.
And what we noticed too, really quick, for Savvis, their physical science has not been updated in like probably 10 years. So it was a lot there in this process. So why did we select McGraw-Hill? Of course, it's aligned to the standard course of study. And again, we had our instructional coach, Ms. Aguilar. We had some of the principals to vet it at the same time. So again, it's aligned to the North Carolina Standard Course of Study. It's available in both printed and digital formats. It's an online platform for the teachers and the students. And one of the things that Dr. MD talked about, she said, I definitely want something that's going to provide our students with some hands-on activities. So here it has hands-on labs, virtual labs, and we're talking about STEM, so it's a STEM piece involved in this as well. So again, another initiative from the district is to make sure we do formative assessments. That's included as well as the dashboard. The cost for this, you see at the bottom, $129,000. So are there any questions about McGraw-Hill?
I would just like to say I'm very pleased with the diverse representation. And McGraw-Hill has been around a long time, so I'm very familiar with that company, and you know, they usually provide some good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I really like,
Resources.
Madam Chair, I really like the integration of the STEM, and then you talked about the manipulative hands-on for our
Yeah.
kinesthetic tactile learners. When I heard that buzzword, my ears popped up, and I'm happy about that, so.
Great.
And I really appreciate the fact that you guys allow the teacher recommendation to be your last say, because they're the ones that's going to have to implement the day-to-day. So
Yes.
thank you for that.
Great.
Wait a minute.
All right, next.
Thank you so much. Then we have the iReady Reading Math Program, Mr. Jones.
Okay, so here with iReady, I'm gonna put it out there, we saved some money with iReady this year. So that's one thing about Dr. MD and working with Mr. Squire back here with that holding purse. We definitely tried to save some money. So, and I'll explain that in just a second. Again, the iReady suite, we'll continue to use that. The piece that we appreciate about iReady is the fact that it's personalized learning based on the student's needs. We can identify the strengths and areas of growth for reading and math using this, and the progress monitoring piece. This is basically how we save money this year. So, of course, you know, we received the Golden Leaf Grant for the middle school. And with that Golden Leaf Grant, we have access to a new math resource, which is the Open Up resource for grades 6 through 8. So in the past, we purchased the Ready Math for K through 8th grade, but now we just have to focus in on K-5. So we save money there. The second way of saving money is the fact that we realize that we have a lot of professional development days already in our contract. So they were just rolling over. So they wanted us to purchase more days, and I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to continue, because once you look at it, we typically use about 5 days. So we have 9 days already in the bank. So again, we save some money there. So instead of paying $150-some thousand this year, we're paying $98,000, which is great. So with this suite, we're going to have the diagnostic for reading and math and the toolbox for reading and math for the teachers as well. All right? It's a little hot. Any questions?
So actually, the funding looks like, I'm sorry, Madam Chair, question.
Go ahead.
I apologize. Looks like the funding is 98?
Yes. 98,000, because the original contract, or the original quote that we received was actually 150-some thousand.
Okay.
So
That's
because
a
of the
big
use, because of the use of the Open Up resource, and we cut back on the professional development there,
That's
because it
good.
was just continuing to roll over.
I know Mr. Swire is very happy to hear that.
Oh, yeah, he's always happy to hear it. Appreciate you, bud.
That's good.
Just want to remind the board that our reading math is our math curriculum. Where H and, what's the one called we use for H?
HLH for ELA.
It's our curriculum that we use for English language, ELA. And so our rating, and we're looking at the impact, and we're going to study real hard this year, 25, 26, to see if there's an impact that our rating is making on the instruction that we're using, and using it with fidelity. Because we want to make sure that there is an impact when we're buying these programs, that it's making a difference with the instruction that we're doing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So the quote that's in here, Mr. Jones, is 129.
That's the wrong quote.
Okay.
So it's 90.
Okay.
90.
All right, yeah, just so you know.
Yeah, I fixed that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I fixed that.
And I just want to say, I appreciate the mindset of being conservative wherever possible, because it all adds up, and sometimes more is not necessarily better. And with what Dr. Montague just said, measuring the impact of it
Yeah.
is really important. So
Yes.
that's a great mindset to think that we have as a district as we move forward.
I agree.
Thank you. Next, we've had Edmentum, Courseware, Exact Path, and Study Island. Mr. Jones.
So this is Edmentum. This is our renewal for Edmentum. So again, we use Edmentum, like Dr. Carrington just mentioned. We use the Courseware version, or the Courseware piece of Edmentum for ALP, which is credit recovery as well, and initial credits for our students. Again, it's aligned to the state standards, and our usage report on this is amazing. We have a lot of students that just recently used it this past summer and throughout the school year. Study Island is the other piece to the Edmentum suite. We use that for test prep, formative assessments, and skill mastery for our students, and the progress monitoring piece is definitely built in there. And the usage is definitely, pretty much, we're maintaining the usage there. There's a positive trend there. At ZapPath, we have definitely seen some changes in the usage of that. Working with Dr. Richardson, our MTSS coordinator, we have refined our approach this for the 25-26 school year. At ZapPath, we used to do beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year. But after talking with the team and talking with the representative from Edmentum, we felt like it was best for us to do semester. Because think about it, if a student is in English 1 for one semester, the teacher will have the opportunity to monitor the student. The way that we had it set up originally, it was you're in there for one semester, the second semester, nobody's there to check and monitor the students. So the way that we're doing it now, we can definitely monitor the students, and it definitely support our MTSS framework as well. So again, this is at Mentum, and you see the cost is there.
Any questions?
Not a question, Mr. Jones, but I stand corrected. I was still in McGraw-Hill. You
Yeah.
got the right
Yeah.
quote in there.
All right,
My
thank
fault.
you. No problem.
I don't have any, Ms. Long.
Okay. Thank you so much. Next, we'll have discussion of format of board meeting. Anyone like to? I think you.
Yeah, I think the board has considered the possibility of moving closed session to before our regularly scheduled meeting. So as a part of our regular scheduled meeting, my understanding, you can help us, is that we would call the meeting to order, and this would be earlier than our 6 o'clock time. I'm not sure we've established when that time is. Let's just say 5 o'clock. We would call our meeting to order. We'd go directly into closed session with a scheduled return time at, say, 6 o'clock. We would return from closed session and then immediately start our open session. So especially as we get later in the year, closed session can go late. We've got an attorney who drives from Raleigh, I guess I can say that, right?
Yeah.
And so it just kind of makes sense that maybe we front load our regular scheduled meeting with our closed session. And then my understanding is we can have an additional closed
Correct.
session as needed. But we need to do this proactively and in an organized way. So when we start, everyone is aware of what we're doing and how we're doing it. So I know the board has a question. So let me go ahead and ask that. If we go into closed session, do we have to come immediately into open session, given that there is a window when folks who are, working whatever and have a small window to eat, grab something to eat? Is there a way to work a window into between ending closed session and opening open session? And you take it from here.
Sure. So you would still actively be in a meeting. You would really just be recessed.
Recess.
But I wouldn't make it, for example, Orange County, this is what they do. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6, but they start, say, at 6, closed session, and then the open meeting portion is scheduled for 7. That's what the agenda says. It says 6, it says 7, and then on their website, it also says that. And then they have a placeholder, or you could have a placeholder on your agenda later for a second closed session that you could use or not use. Like, you could get to that point and no one moves to go into closed session. The only thing to keep in mind with recessing is not continuing to talk about things as a board during the meeting without actually
Gotcha.
being in the meeting.
Understood.
Okay.
And Madam Chair, may I say
Yeah.
something? I appreciate you sharing that on our behalf, Victoria. I think, though, the board discussed that we would do 4 o'clock closed sessions, if my mind serves me.
We just threw out a time, 4:30,
4:30.
whatever. We don't want too long of a, because we have to come out into open session, and I guess the question would be, do we keep open session at 6 o'clock? And then we backtrack from there. So would we need
And my
2
thought-
hours?
Yeah.
But we don't have to decide this in open session, do we, to change this? In terms of the logistics, the actual,
The time.
the time?
If you are going to have a discussion as a board about this, it
should be-
has to
it should
be
be
an
public-
open
public
session.
session.
So the only other option would be perhaps
another
Chair, right, or Chair Long could,
Why would we do that?
call everyone individually and get a sense as to the time.
So is that what we need to discuss the time today?
Yes.
So does everyone agree that we keep open session at 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So given that, then counting back for closed session. And Dr. Montague, you still with us?
She's listening.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm trying to listen very closely, so I'm talking kind of low and I can't
Why
hear.
you putting your ear out?
So I'm questioning if we do closed session, we go into open session, then go into closed session, how long do we need closed session to start? At what time prior to the 6 o'clock? Given what we.
Well, the average time that we stay now in closed session, we stay now about an hour, 15 minutes. Is that correct, attorney? I think it's somewhere in that.
I think it's a
somewhere in
little
that-
shorter.
Yeah.
Say that again?
I think it's a bit shorter than that typically, maybe 45 minutes.
I can't hear you.
She said she thinks it's more like 45 minutes versus an hour and a half.
Okay, more like 45 minutes, so I would say then, if we're looking at a 45 minute, I would say that we could start closed session at 4:30. That will give us an opportunity that you can have dinner or whatever, before or after. We can have dinner early and start closed session at 5 o'clock. And we can go from there with the work session.
I'm good with that.
I don't know.
Well, I think
What do you
that's.
think? 5 o'clock, closed session?
What I wanted to do is I know Board Member Tally Brain.
I can't
I
speak
would
up,
say,
please.
I know that Board Member Tally Brain is one of the board members who has a full-time regular job, and I just want to make sure that that doesn't push her or any other board member in terms of time.
Yeah, I can make the adjustment, because I think I was one of the ones who talked about having the closed session moved up, so I'll work out the adjustment. If we say 4:30, I believe, I think that would give us enough time. I'm okay with that.
Okay?
Another benefit of having closed session first, even with the placeholder of the second on the agenda, is it does kind of force y'all to stay on a schedule.
I agree. That's why I wanted to move it up.
Yeah.
And we also have the option to go back in closed session
what she said.
if we did not complete everything that we did in the first part. So that option is still there. Am I correct, attorney?
Yes, that's correct. So you'll just have that agenda item on, just as a matter of course, so you don't have to think about it every time. And if you don't need it, then you just don't go into closed session.
So the trick is to make sure that the public understands that the meeting opens, but we go directly into closed session, and we'll have to be deliberate about messaging that.
Yes, so the meeting will be noticed for 4:30. That's what time the meeting starts. And then I would suggest on the website to specifically say 4:30, meeting opens, goes into closed session, 6 PM, open session, and I can send some examples of how that looks. And the public will just get used to that being the format as well. But the good thing is you're not actually changing the time of the meeting, the public part. So there's not a big risk of confusion.
So if we don't have at this point a work.
Use your mic up so she
If we don't at this point have a work session scheduled for July, then we can say that this would start in August.
Correct.
Okay. Have we covered all our bases?
Yes. The only other thing is that currently board policy says that the meetings start at 6.
Change it.
So if this is going to be an ongoing change, while the board chair and the board can kind of change it on an ad hoc basis, if this is the plan moving forward, I would also update it in board policy.
Right.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Dr. Whitaker? Duly noted, right?
Yeah.
Are there any more questions or concerns or comments? All right. We will move now to our action items. Could I get I call for a motion to consider approval of the addendum of the NEMA management contract, and I think it changed to
I got it. Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adopt amendment to the NEMA contract as stated.
I second.
It is moved by Board Member Sims and second by Board Member Tyler Green that we consider approval of the addendum of the NEMA contract. Question? Let us vote by saying aye
Aye.
and vote electronically, I think, or do we? I can't vote. Let's sum it up, okay.
Consider approval of the South one. Now you're ahead. Go back to the agenda. Okay, now where are you? Now, that's it.
Can't vote.
Okay, our recommendation is there.
She can vote for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's move on.
yeah, okay. Motion carried. I call for a motion for approval of the sports flooring contract.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the sports flowing contract.
Second?
It has been moved by Board Member Tyler Brame and second by Board Member Byrd. Okay. Question? Is vote by the sign of aye?
Aye.
Aye. Vote electronically. Vote for
See
me.
that distance?
Nine, no more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I call for a motion for the approval of the South Warren Elementary School sale contract.
I would like to move that we approve the South Warren Elementary School sale contract.
Second?
It has been moved by
Vice Chair.
Vice Chair Lehman and second by Board Member Sims that we consider approval of the South Warren Elementary School contract. Ready for the question?
Yeah.
Question? If not, let's vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Vote electronically. Motion carried.
Thank you.
I call for a motion to approve the purchase of the McGraw-Hill K-12 science curriculum.
Madam Chair, I move that we purchase the McGraw-Hill K-12 science curriculum.
Second.
It has been moved by Board Member Tyler Brame that we approve the purchase of McGraw-Hill contract, and second by Board Member Sims. Question? None? Let's vote by the sign of aye.
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 Vote electronically. Motion carried. Moving on, I call for a motion to consider approval to purchase the iReady Reading Math Program.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the iReady Reading Math Program.
Second.
It has been moved by Board Member Sims and second by Vice Chair Lehman that we consider approval to purchase of the iReady Reading Math Program. Question? Now it's ready for the vote. Vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Vote electronically. Motion carried. Moving on, I'll call for a motion to consider approval of the purchase of the Edmentum courseware, Exact Path, and Study Island.
Madam Chair, I move that we purchase the Edmentum courseware, Exact Path, and Study Island.
Second?
It has been moved by Board Member Tyler Brame and second by Board Member Byrd that we consider the approval of the purchase of Edmentum courseware, Exact Path, and Study Island. Ready for the question? Questions? Let's vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Vote electronically, motion carried. I call for a motion to consider approval of team services consultant contract renewal.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the team services consultant contract renewal.
I second.
It is moved by Board Member Sims and second by Board Member Charlie Brain that we consider approval of the team service consultant contract renewal. Ready for the question? Vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
And electronically, motion carried. I call for a motion that we convene in closed session.
Madam Chair, I move that the board convene into closed session to prevent the disclosure of confidential information pursuant General Statute 143-318, 11A1, A5, and A6, General Statutes 115C-319, and to consult with the board attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege pursuant General Statute 143-318.11A3.
Second?
Okay. Is moved in by Board Member Charlie Brain and second by Vice Chair Lehman that we adjourn into closed session, convene in closed session. Ready for the question?
Yes.
Yes.
Vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We will return in about 5 minutes.
Oh, quick.
5 minutes. 5
Put the
minutes.
timer on.
The board is now in open session. Can I get a motion for approval of personnel report?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the personnel report and the contract renewals as amended.
Okay. Can I get a second? It has been motioned that we approve the personnel report as amended and the contract renewals as amended also. Question? Those in favor, aye?
Aye.
And you can vote electronically. You can vote. Motion carried. Call for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
It has been motioned by Vice Chair Lehman to adjourn the meeting and second by Board Member Sims. Question? Those in favor? Sign aye. Ayes have it.